The game starts now.
What's up, folks? Welcome back. This is not my account. I've been after my best friend for a while, Serious Padfoot, to send me a replay, and I was finally able to get one from his account here. So this is going to be Serious Padfoot in a Tier 5 Emerald. This is a Tier 6 matchup on the map Ring in Domination mode. I was sponsored by a friend of mine, and I in turn sponsored Padfoot, and been after him for a while. He's been enjoying the Royal Navy cruiser line, and I believe his secondary is the German battleships. But he's been really grinding hard on that Emerald, trying to get up to the Leander so that he can eventually get into the Fiji. So he's going to spawn down toward the south and east of the map, and he's going to start heading up toward D to assist the Mitsuki pair in taking that point. Now the Emerald is kind of a point of contention. A lot of people don't like that ship, but I know personally I've really enjoyed it. It's where the British cruisers really start to develop their identity of a heel, smoke screen, good maneuverability, good guns. The Emerald boasts 8 torpedo tubes per side, so it can put a total of 16 relatively strong torpedoes in the water at a time. It has a good rate of fire, decent number of guns. It's just an all-around good ship. Now, in my opinion, this ship really excels at hunting destroyers and other cruisers. Alright, so heading up toward D, he is spotted by the enemy Agla. I'm going to start putting out shots on it because, again, he is trying to hunt destroyers. And anytime you see an Agla, you know it's going to be a relatively experienced player. Okay, so outside here on the eastern flank, he is met by the enemy Omaha and a T-22 coming in at him together. This is a little bit more than what he bargained for. So he's going to begin to turn out, try to disengage while at the same time putting shots out. Full salvo out on that T-22, 6 penetrations. Look at that, over half that T-22's health melted at one time. That British armor piercing really does a good job against destroyers. 4 citadels on the Omaha, just absolutely melting. He's taken some damage himself though. He's being spotted by both the enemy ships, or he's being targeted rather by both the enemy ships. So he's going to continue to disengage while still trying to put shots out. Already he's racked up 23,500 damage. He's focusing his fire on that Omaha, because right now that Omaha is what can really hurt him the most. Especially at this range, that T-22 is not going to do too much against him. The T-22 is just doing his best to escape. Looks like friendly torpedo bombers are dropping torpedoes on the Omaha. He takes one, and down he goes as he takes another. So Padfoot's going to re-engage on the T-22. And he's popping smoke because he's being looked at by the enemy Fuso. Look at that, he's doing a pretty good job. He's engaging that target over the mountain, over the island there, and takes him out, kills him.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
Going to begin re-engaging the Agla at range. Look at that. Great salvo. Six shells at a time. Great British armor piercing. It can just do a real number on any destroyer that it encounters. You know, add to that the fact that the British cruisers carry hydrofusive surge. Yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with, especially for contesting caps or supporting friendly destroyers as they contest caps. Still putting more shots out. The Agla dodging the friendly torpedoes. Oh, he took one. Can Padfoot finish him off? Doing a good job at anticipating where the Agla is going. Adjusting his aim accordingly. Good salvo, good penetration. One more should have it. And down goes the Agla. Good job, Padfoot. Looks like Mina Bang notices the good job Padfoot did and throws out a thank you. Looks like Padfoot did kick off his hydro. Not sure if the Aegis sent torpedoes in his direction. So just as a precaution, looks like he activated his hydroacoustic. Not a bad one. Not a bad choice. Now he's heading up to take D. The enemy Nicholas is up taking A point. We have the Warspite, the New York, and the Fuso on our flank. Up toward the north, we have our Grimyashi. Looks like he's engaging La Guisenaire and Britannia. As our Pensacola, Normandy, and Iron Duke kind of hang around there on the western front. New York and Bayern are down here with us, and along with our friendly aircraft carrier, the Bogue. As he approaches D, Padfoot is using the island to kind of obstruct line of sight, and he begins to turn out. He doesn't want to get too close to that New York. He wants to use that New York's horrible dispersion against him. So he's going to begin to turn out, start to engage him at a larger range, not quite max range. And he's going to deploy his smoke screen here in just a moment. There you go, smoke screen is off, pulled down, he deploys, and begins to engage the New York. And here I believe Padfoot really kind of made a mistake. If you look down at his throttle, he's still moving forward at a quarter speed, at 8 knots. He's going to outrun that smoke screen. And if you outrun your smoke screen, he accelerated for some reason. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. Capturing the area, yep. Looks like he realizes what he did. He's slowing down. Got a solo cap on D point. And looks, yeah, he's going into full reverse now. Trying to back up into his smoke again. He did stop shooting, and it looks like he's eyeballing that Nicholas. He's not really going to do too much damage on those battleships. They're heading out of range, so he's going to begin engaging that Nicholas. Looks like the Nicholas is coming out of D into the circle of islands. He's being spotted, has shots incoming, so he takes evasive action. Good job. Dodging shots. And it looks like he's going to be turning back north again, probably trying to hunt that Nicholas. That Nicholas can really do a lot of damage to our friendly battleships. Looks like we have a Pensacola. Our friendly Pensacola is pushing in on A. So Padfoot is going to start heading north in the hopes of encountering that Nicholas. Now there's nobody else around that can really spot him right now, so a good way to know if that Nicholas comes into that center ring is if he gets spotted, then you'll know that that Nicholas is somewhere close by, within visual. Oh, there's the detection, and there's the Nicholas. Alright, begin to engage him with those guns. Now he's throwing up a wall of torpedoes, not necessarily hoping to hit him, but more to limit the maneuverability of that American destroyer. He turns out and kicks off his hydro preemptively, and down goes the Nicholas, and there are those torpedoes. So hydro was a good thing to use right there. He's going to easily be able to dodge those now. So that's the 3 kills, all 3 of them being destroyers on the enemy team. We have the enemy La Guisenaire heading inbound, definitely within range. It's really the only enemy target in range right now. As the Emerald Padfoot begins heading north again to capture A. Got his eye on that La Guisenaire. He is mountain blocked, but oh, there's the Britannia sailing into range. Looks like he's going to putting out a few shots on the Britannia there, and the La Guisenaire is coming out, and he's anticipating where that La Guisenaire is going to be, and he's putting some shots out on him blind. Oh, he got 1 ricochet and 1 shatter, but that was pretty good, hitting him blind like that, putting out a few blind shots on the Britannia, and beginning to engage the La Guisenaire again. We're setting up, preparing to engage him. using the torpedo lead indicator to figure out where La Guisanera is going. And heading in toward the cover of the island to capture A under the safety of that island. Throwing out a few shots, but La Guisanera is actually out of range. So yeah, La Guisanera is turning out. So those were kind of wasted torpedoes, but yeah, you know what? Not really, because they're going to keep anything from coming around that corner on him, make them think twice about wanting to come around that corner. So it's actually going to make it a little bit safer for him to take A from this little nook here. Slowing down. And he's turning his nose out away from the island so that he can have an avenue of escape. Alright, now this is pretty much just a hurry up and wait. He is air detected. He's backing up. And it looks like he's turning his tip out, the nose of his ship out just a little bit so he can have a better avenue of escape if need be. La Guisanera is heading around the backside of that island, and he has the Warspite and the Fuso pushing in on his position. So right now it looks like he's evaluating his targets, trying to see where the enemy ships are going and who's going to be the best candidate for him to lay down fire on, as he gets another solo cap. So now 3 of 4 caps belong to our team there, to the green team. And he's going to go ahead and begin to disengage. You don't really want to take on a Fuso and a Warspite head on. So he begins kiting away. Yep, here comes some shells out from the Warspite. And he's going to pop smoke and turn and begin engaging this Fuso. The Fuso is the more damaged, and he's showing a perfect broadside. So good choice selecting targets there. That British armor piercing shooting at the superstructure, and he's starting to rack up penetrations here. Then get his, there we go. Looks like he's dialed in. And the Fuso is still taking friendly shots. Looks like from the Iron Duke or the Normandy behind us. Oh, it looks like Padfoot's under fire from the La Guisanera. Keeping up the fire. Doing it. There he goes. Down goes the Fuso. Now he begins to engage that La Guisanera, who is also showing a perfect broadside. He is detected, though. He is surface detected by that Warspite, and the Warspite is heading in behind the island on the other nook, and he's going to begin contesting A.
Victory is in sight.
Alright, so Padfoot's team is ahead substantially on points, and here comes some shells from La Guisanera. Alright, way overshot him. He might have actually been shooting at that Iron Duke. So Padfoot's going to begin shooting back. And it looks like La Guisanera is actually heading for the cover of that island if you look at his lead indicator mini-map. So Padfoot's going to continue to engage La Guisanera. You're kiting away from the target like that, you're making it really hard for them to get a good lead on you. And La Guisanera is going to, yeah, he's heading in behind that island. As Padfoot continues to get good shell shots on him. Now, La Guisanera is almost dead. And the Warspite is up there challenging for A. So, looks like Padfoot is going to make a charge on that La Guisanera. Now, that French cruiser is not going to want to come out of cover. Not this late in the game. So, right now, that cruiser is probably in survival mode. He's probably wondering, you know, just hang out there and hide until the game's over. So, Padfoot, okay, puts out his heel. That was his last heel. His smoke is almost off cooldown. He has one more smoke charge left. Okay, he begins coming in. So using the torpedo range indicator, he's about 6 kilometers now from the back end of that island. His hydro is going to have about 4 kilometers on the surge. So he goes ahead and he pops that hydro. Because he's coming around this corner, that Warspite's about to spot him. And he does not want to be in a position where the Lagwisaner knows where he is and he doesn't know where it is. And he's hit there. There's Lagwisaner coming out, almost dead. And it's a good thing he hit that Hydro, because Lagwisaner has torpedoes. Down he goes with a Citadel for the Kraken Unleash, and there's Lagwisaner's torpedoes. Easily dodged. He's going to pop smoke.
Smoke generator activated.
Once he's sure there's no more torpedoes coming, and he's going to begin engaging this Warspite. That Warspite is the one there that's taking A from us.
Smoke screen set.
So he's a good target of opportunity. Just stay within the smoke, and he's going to keep hammering those British armor piercing into the superstructure of that Warspite. You don't really want to shoot at the armor belt with cruiser AP, because you're not really going to penetrate. But you can hit that superstructure all day long. Putting out good shots. The friendly team has 937 points. The game's not going to last too much longer. The health on Padfoot is still looking pretty good. So he's just going to keep up the fire on him, rack up the damage. So far he's at 60,000 damage. Not an overly high damage output on this game, but the damage that he has dealt really has counted, because he's killed 3 destroyers, killed a cruiser, and a battleship. So yeah. He's definitely had a good team support too. This team did a really good job. Alright, looks like the Warspite, Warspite just took a torpedo from the friendly torpedo bombers. Just going to keep hammering him with those lovely British armor piercing. 985 is the score right now. And the game ends. Good job, Padfoot. What a great game for my friend Padfoot. He wound up with 279,423 credits, 4,304 experience, 216 free experience, Kraken Unleashed. He dealt 65,272 damage. He had 132 shells on target with 76 penetrations, 1 torpedo strike, 5 kills, 1 flood, 5 citadels, 1 cap defense, 2 solo caps. Taking a look at his leaderboard here, of course he came up with MVP by a fairly substantial margin. Taking a look at the detail report, he sank the V-22, the Nicholas, the Agla, so he sank 3 destroyers off the enemy teams. The Emerald is a really good destroyer hunter. But he also was able to sink the Lagwisaner and the Fuso. He dealt heavy damage to that Omaha and the Warspite, and took some chip damage off the New York, bounced some off the Britannia. The majority of his damage came, of course, from his main battery, 64,972. You gotta love that British armor piercing. And he only got 345 off that 1 torpedo strike. Hey, no problem. Look at his potential damage though, 701,498. That enemy team was really gunning for him. And out of 120 capture points, Padfoot accounted for, yes, 108 of them. Good job, Padfoot. Alright. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I hope to see you in game.